Oh, okay, I guess we're live.
No, hit the 30-second button. Hit the 30
I
second
am.
button.
I'm hitting it right now.
What's up, Mooncutter fans? Joffrey and Adam tonight being joined by a very special guest to talk about the greatest sport on known to man. We got the owner of Unity Podcast Network and the host of the Frank the Tank Sports Show. He's a credentialed media representative and photographer for the Philadelphia Flyers, and has taken on kind of like a mentorship role with me and Adam when it comes to podcasting, trying to help us make our show better. Please welcome Frankie James, aka Frank the Tank, to the Mooncutters panel.
My man, thanks for having me. Definitely been looking forward to this since you and I got to talking. Really happy to be here, Adam. Nice to see you too, brother. Thanks for having me aboard. It's gonna be good stuff.
It's
Adam,
been a while.
I
It's
just
been a
love
while. We have talked about this for a
hour.
lot. We have talked about this going live for a while now, and we're finally doing it. So it feels good, right?
It does. It feels
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, the fact that you can now see the fact that Adam and I do definitely have faces made for radio. The fact that you can actually see that and you can get a look inside of our homes, like the background of my office and Adam's living room corner. Unless you moved your desk now.
I got my MLB bats behind me. Jason
nice.
Jennings, Colorado Rockies. Chris Steins, old Pirate player, and
Okay.
Craig Wilson Fungo bat.
Oh, the old Craig Wilson. Don't forget about if any Phillies bats up there. The Phillies. They lost today. They went red hot 9-9 in a row with the new interim head coach. How about that?
We talking about your Phillies right now, winning those 9 in a row.
No, we can save that for a later conversation. I'll school anybody that you know.
But anyways, as I
Who
was
does
saying,
that? Who does that baseball talk? That should have that on their show.
but as I was saying, the fact that you actually get to see our radio-made faces, you could thank Frankie here for that one. He's the one that pushed for us to make the jump to live streaming and video casting.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
it's
Frank.
good stuff. I'm glad that you guys are taking advantage of it. I got a good feeling it's definitely going to help you, and stay tuned for all the Moon Cutter fans out there because a lot of good things I'm sure are going to be coming their way.
I sure
Now,
hope so.
I will say I did not think these playoffs were going to go the route they did. Like in the final, we've got one team that I've been calling from day one, and then on the other conference, you got a team that I did not think was going to make it out of the first round.
Yeah, the first round was pretty incredible. I know that you have the ticker for the first round. I'm looking forward to diving into that because playoff hockey, and this is coming from a player that played for 18 years. Like there was nothing like the game of playoff when it comes to playoff hockey. It's very unpredictable. It really brings the best out of players, and it's where some of the best rivals have started from is playoff hockey. You go back to with the Philadelphia Flyers and New Jersey Devils. When Scott Stevens had laid out Eric Lindros, just that big rival, Pittsburgh Penguins and Philadelphia Flyers. Now I know we got a Pittsburgh Penguins fan right up there. Incredible rival going back to 2012. When with the Hartnell and the Hulk Hogan. Playoff hockey is the best, hands down.
Now, what I love about the Stanley Cup playoffs is that, quite simply put, it's like a whole new game. Like as soon as the 16 teams book their ticket, it's like how they perform during the regular season, everything, all the storylines up to that point don't matter because every single team that makes it into the Stanley Cup playoffs, when they walk through the door for game one, are completely different teams than what you've seen all season.
Perfectly said. Couldn't have said it any better. And you could go back to the 2010 year. The Flyers got in on the last day of the regular season against the New York Rangers with a big shootout win and a big save on who was it? Brian Boucher. Unbelievable save. The old infamous kick, the old kick in the midair. They got in there on the last day, and they ended up going to the Stanley Cup final against the Blackhawks. That's perfectly said. You never know what can happen.
I did not want to see the Flyers next to the Penguins in the Cup.
Well, good thing you wouldn't because they're both in the Eastern Conference, Adam.
Well, no, on the Stanley Cup because the Penguins won it the year before.
Yeah, well, Penguins have definitely had some great success. I mean, with all due respect, and I am a Philadelphia Flyers fan. I do, with covering the team, I'm a hockey fan as well, and a lot of animosity with Sidney Crosby and the Penguins. But I'll tell you flat out right now, and this is on record with you guys, Sidney Crosby is hands down probably one of the best players I've ever got to watch play. So and it's like you can relate with the Tom Brady situation. People have over this talk a lot of crap about Brady. Why? We literally got to watch the greatest quarterback, probably NFL player ever, with Sidney Crosby, an incredible talent to watch play. It's they're an incredible team. What can I say? But
I mean,
not in it this time.
Yes, you mentioned Tom Brady, but just like with anything else, you see the same situation in hockey today. But mentioning Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. During the same era we grew up, we got to witness two others that could arguably hold that distinction.
Peyton Manning and probably Aaron Rodgers.
You got one of the two, right? I would say Peyton Manning or Drew Brees.
Well, we're talking hockey. We'll save that for a later time. We're talking hockey.
I was going Dan Marino. So
it's errors, not that.
During the same era as Tom Brady.
Never won a Super
Well,
Bowl.
I mean, while we were alive, we got to see him.
Well, the good thing is that we're here talking hockey, so.
Yes.
Is that because we didn't talk any Eagles like Randall Cunningham or Donovan McNabb?
Okay.
Oh, and don't worry, Frankie. We forgive the fact that you're a Flyers fan.
Oh well, I'm also a hockey fan, so I'm not one of those guys I'm not a homer. I give it to it straight. So you're not going to get any homer tips from me. You're going to get the straight stuff.
That's what you should do every time.
But anyways, let's jump into these playoffs because they've been fun. They've been exciting, and it's hockey, so they make me happy. All right, we've had surprisingly close series most of the first round, I would say.
Oh yeah.
The only sweep we got round one was the Avalanche, who
beat the
are
crap
sitting
out of the
pretty,
Predators.
getting ready to face the Tampa Bay Lightning for the final. The Avalanche over the where's that grid?
They played the Predators.
Would you like to talk Eastern Conference first, Eastern Conference, or you want to dive into Western Conference for the first round?
You know what? You're the guest. You choose.
Oh, I get to choose. I mean, realistically, we'll talk Eastern Conference, and the one series that really stepped out to me, what was the Rangers Penguins really? I mean that series, that first round, Rangers win 4-3 the game 7. These two teams, they face each other a lot. I mean, they're in the same division. It was a great series, and once again, you see the Penguins right back in there. But you'll also, in my opinion, in my professional opinion, may have seen the end of an era with the Pittsburgh Penguins. You're going to see a lot of different moves happen in the offseason. You're going to see some new faces in there. They have Ron Hextall now in the back, and Ron Hextall is a specialist with taking their time and focusing on the rebuild, bringing in new talent that's going to be ready in 3-4 years. Rangers have been in a rebuild for about 5, 6, 7 years. And look how far they made it this year, playing a really incredible series with the Lightning. That Rangers Penguins series was definitely a one that was really enjoyable, going to a Game 7 OT victory.
As begrudgingly as I have to say it, I was impressed with how much heart New York showed in that series. Mm-hmm. The fact that they have become only the 31st team in the history of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs to overcome a 3-1 game deficit to win their series. Like that, they had heart.
Yeah,
And
Couldn't agree with you more on that one. I mean, yeah, the Rangers, it took them a long time to really get it going. And just like you said, Hart, we'll jump over to the Western Conference. Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers. Now, another one of my big first round key matchups because, Calgary Flames really started really playing, had a really good season. And a lot of surprises. Markstrom, incredible early on. He had about 3 shutouts in 5 games, and 2 of them actually were against the Philadelphia Flyers early on. It was one hell of a way to start the season for them, and they just got it past. Well, they didn't get it past, but they took Edmonton really. I thought that Calgary was going to win that, and Edmonton with the Edmonton Oilers, you see Connor McDavid really finally come into his own in the playoffs. I mean, I was on record saying early on the season with my old crew, Old City Sports Network on Flyers Alley, Connor McDavid, incredible season. But then you get him in the playoffs, really was tough for him to produce. You throw his shoulder, you throw a bump, you do the old, hey, how's your father? A little bump in the chest, and you could take him out of his game. Not this time. 9 games in, he had about 21 points. Sensational. And, they get themselves a goaltender, a couple of key pieces, sign Evander Kane for a cheap 2 years, $3 million per. They might find themselves back in there too. Definitely a good first round matchup.
I mean, for the Oilers' sake, I got to say their entire season was made by the taking a winger on bringing in Evander Kane. I believe prior to him coming over from the Barracuda in the HL, they were second to last in the conference, and then to turn around, bring him in, throw him on that second line with Draisaitl, and the team became electric all year. Like they went from mediocre to arguably the most high-powered offense in the league.
Besides the Florida Panthers, I have to agree with you. And then obviously with the Florida Panthers bringing in former captain of the Philadelphia Flyers, Claude Giroux, definitely helped their game. But you're right. I mean, when you think of hockey, it's 4 lines. But when you have a 1-2 punch or a full line of Draisaitl and McDavid, absolutely incredible. I think his watch is going off, so we might want to get that taken care of. Oh, and now an alarm just went off as well. Might want to put that on silent there. But you have Draisaitl and you have Connor McDavid, just 2 unbelievable talents. I mean, Connor McDavid escalated Draisaitl's numbers, his career. Those 2 are going to play really well together for a really long time. They just need a little goaltender help.
I thought they would have went out and traded Fleury at the deadline. That's what I thought.
Incredible move. Adam, I think you're dead on with that. I think that would have been a monster move, and he ended up going to Minnesota, which Minnesota ended up doing pretty well. Nice, good, shocking playoff team to really compete and do pretty well. But you get a goaltender like that still playing at a top level. I mean, he's a no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer, Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean, you guys know. I mean, especially you, MD. I mean, you've seen him play for how long? I mean, he's sensational. And still at a high level.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely great goaltender. Can't take anything away from him. If he don't get in on the first time ballot, I don't know what.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, hockey. Yeah, I mean the numbers. It's not even a conversation. We don't have to even waste our time on that one. I'd rather go out and have a Mountain Dew with MD over there.
If I'm not mistaken, Fleury's what, number 2 or number 3 on the terms of all-time most wins for a goalie?
All time? Wow, Adam, if you want to check that out, bro. All time. Marc-Andre Fleury. Well, Berneur's number 1.
For sure.
Then obviously I believe Wall's number 2. I mean, wow, that's a good number. Hopefully we find that out. Top 10 all time. We can just check it in. But I'd like to ask you a question, actually, Marco. Joffrey, like second round, like what was a big game that really stuck out to you? Anything that you liked?
Hold on real quick. It just goes Brodeur, Roy, Waugh, and Fleury.
There you go. Well said. Top 3. Wow, top 3.
Second round we're looking at.
Yeah, so it's some really, really good stuff too, man. But while you're thinking about that, I want to touch on that goaltender thing because I when it comes to goaltending, that's what the playoffs are about. Sometimes you need that goaltender to steal that game, and you never know what they could do. You could go back with some rookie goaltenders. Look in 2010, Chicago Blackhawks, Anthony Emmy, brand new guy, brand new goaltender, came out and did it. Jonathan Quick also, I believe, was a rookie when he won it with the Kings.
32.
Look how he played. Incredible goaltender. Once again, future Hall of Fame. The St. Louis Blues, Bennington, another goaltender, rookie, came in, won a cup with a bunch of former Flyers that were on that team, including their head coach.
Matt Murray won 2 cups as a rookie.
And thank you once again. I mean, and it's pretty remarkable when you look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, having Fleury and then having Matt Murray. I mean, look at the Flyers. They spent a long time without a number one goaltender. You go back to 2010. We were literally in there with Boucher and Leighton. We had 2 goaltenders that we took and swapped. I mean, and that's why it's important. The importance of having a number one goaltender is top tier.
And on that note, one of the biggest ones that you can look at this year is a young, on the rise goalie. The Rangers, Igor Shesterkin.
Wow.
If it weren't for that man, I don't think they would have went as far. Like, if it weren't for not only that man, but the fact that the majority of the team was playing above their pay grade for 3 full series, I don't think we would have seen them go as far as they did.
Yeah, I'll definitely touch on this, and then if you want to continue on, because I know that I've got some breaking news about a guest that you have coming up with the Rangers, so I don't want to steal no thunder from my man over there, and New York. He's a great guy, but
that's all right. We lost our goaltender on a weird injury in the first, or what was that? And then right before overtime. So against the Rangers, I think if we would have had DeSmith, I think we would have taken that in 6 or 5, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Igor, they're already starting to compare him with Henrik because of how well he's played and how quick he's escalated his game. Now, Henrik Lundqvist is, with me, probably a top 12 all-time greatest goaltender. Henrik, for me personally, top 12. For already to have Igor, once again, Fleury and Murray. Now Henrik and Igor, just 2 sensational. Goaltending is very, very important, and Rangers have spent a lot of time and a lot of patience to get where they finally are now, and they're going to be a good team for a little bit.
I mean, another one to make had a good flow from one great goaltender to the next. The Boston Bruins moving from Tim Thomas on to Tuukka Rask.
Yeah, well said. They also had Yaroslav Halak too, if you remember. Yaroslav Halak was there. I believe in 2010. I believe, or maybe it was at Montreal.
Before moving on to San Jose?
Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that, because maybe it was Montreal. But I know that, don't quote me on that. Maybe, I'm pretty sure he was. But regardless, back to your point. Yeah, Tim Thomas, another great goaltender. And then, like you said, a great dynamic duo, man. Can't go wrong.
Now, to answer your question, the series that really jumped at me during the second round has got to be the Battle of Florida. The fact that the Panthers came in arguably the most dominant team in hockey this year.
Especially offensively.
Yes, not to mention having arguably one of the biggest, the most single-handedly great defensive players in the league this year with Mackenzie Weegar.
Yeah. To
turn around and get rolled over and swept by their neighbors across the state, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
This series was a toughie because right off the bat, I had Florida go into the Cup this year. More than one reason.
As did I.
They were a team that is built offensively. They're built good defense. Sergei Bobrovsky, another former Flyer, playing at a really good level still. He played incredible. A great acquisition to enter more depth. Claude Giroux went in right off the bat in the first line. I mean, you're talking about an incredible player right there with skill, playmaking abilities, and still can put the puck in the net at his age, and finally having some players to play with. But the difference between those two teams And the difference between players and teams and the Tampa Bay Lightning is that the Lightning are just built to win championships. They have no flaws in their game. Sure, teams lose games. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. But that team, especially when you get down the stretch, has everything: leadership, playmaking, goaltending, defense. Victor Hedman, one of the best of all time. You have Steven Stamkos and Nikita Kucherov. Hands down, that team is built to win championships, and I would not be surprised if they win 3 in a row. But I won't give my prediction yet. But I wouldn't be surprised.
The other thing I want to point out about this series, harkening back to what I said at the beginning of this episode or the beginning of this chat, the great thing about playoff hockey is walking in the door, your performance the entire regular season doesn't matter. And as dominant, as great as Sergei Bobrovsky's looked all year, he tends to not be able to keep that same caliber when the pressure's on in the playoffs.
It's well said. It is well said. And realistically, what more can you say? Because it's all we've been seen. It's all that we've been shown from Bob, going back even to Columbus. But if you remember, Columbus swept Tampa Bay not long ago, a couple years back, which was nobody thought was going to happen. Sure, they won 2 cups right after, but I will comment on what you said because I actually do kind of disagree. I think when it comes to the player, a hot player going into the playoffs typically will stay hot. Even a hot team so stats, numbers don't matter, but the confidence in the player, the confidence in the team will carry on. Like you win 5-6 games towards the end of the season, get in on the last day, you bet your ass that team is going to be very dangerous to mess with in the playoffs.
Moving on to the conference finals.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, we just got through it. Incredible stuff, man.
I want to stand up and look at the fact that the second sweep of this playoff year was Colorado over again a team that you thought was going to beat them in Edmonton.
Colorado was the best team in the league in the whole year.
That's not true.
I would say Florida probably takes the edge over them on that.
They were the President's winner.
And definitely in the Western Conference, it's a tale of the season as a whole versus the season after the Evander Kane acquisition. Because after the Evander Kane acquisition, there is no argument that the best team in the Western Conference was the Oilers.
Yeah, good debate. It is. It's a strong debate.
You got to remember too. They lost Landeskog when they had 4 players go to the IL. Sorry, Frank. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
Not a problem at all, my friend. Not a problem at all, man.
The Avalanche had 4 players go on the IL, and it was almost for 3/4 of the end of or a fourth of the end of the season. Most of them didn't come back till the first game of the playoffs. So, I mean, they were playing hurt and still ended up with, 124 points, I think? I think that's where they finished. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was incredible. They play incredible. I mean, there are 2 teams that are similar with the high-powered offense. I mean, but realistically, look at it all season. I mean, it's a team effort. Hockey's a team sport. But how many players can really keep up with Connor McDavid? I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody can really keep up. It's about containing and trying to compete with them. You go through the stats. He was incredible the entire playoff series. 9 games, 21 points he had. That's unheard of. Draisaitl was right there with him. But I will say, man, was I surprised. Oilers Avalanche come out right off the bat with an 8-6. That's a high score affair right there. Only to lose by a tight margin and then get shut out and then go to game 4 and lose in overtime. Heartbreak season for the Edmonton Oilers, especially playing so well and getting over that hump. Watch out for them next year.
I want to point out here that over the course of these Stanley Cup playoffs, it's insane to think that assist, points, and goals leaders, usually whoever leads the league in assists or goals, one of those two stats is the overall points lead, but not with the playoff season. They're held by 3 men. All 3 of those men are within the top 2 lines of the Edmonton Oilers. You've got for over goals, Evanes scored 13 goals over the playoff. Mm-hmm. Leon Seidel, feeding the puck, has 25 assists and overall points with 33 is Connor McDavid, who's arguably one of the top 5 players in the league, or easily one of the top 5 players in the league today.
He's the best player in the NHL, hands down. He's the best player in the NHL right now. There's no doubt about it. His skill, his playmaking ability, his goal scoring, his top 5. I mean, he is. I mean, I don't think it's any comparison. He's the consensus #1, probably best player in the NHL, hands down. My opinion. Always a good debate, and we'll save that for a later time if you like. But I mean, there's nobody really better right now than Connor McDavid. Not even Austin Matthews.
That team can't get out of the first round to save their lives.
Dude, you got that right, man. Now I'm going off record. Like, it's crazy. You look at Washington Capitol for so long. They were the worst team that was like built. Like, they had everything, but they couldn't get through that hump. They couldn't get through Pittsburgh. And when they got through Pittsburgh, I knew they were going to do it. They ended up winning the cup against Vegas, I believe it was.
Yeah, they beat Vegas. Yeah, because the big meme of that year was
that was wild for first year. Yeah, it was incredible. But yeah, man. Seeing Oilers, get lose like that was pretty wild. And then obviously, last night, Rangers Lightning. Rangers fought hard. Rangers really fought hard. They tied that game up 1-1, and then in a matter of seconds, boom, here comes their captain, Steven Stamkos, which almost got called back because when he shot it, it bounced and it went off his leg. They tried to say it was a kicking motion, but it was the distinct off the leg and in. And then that's all she wrote. Colorado Avalanche versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Game 1, Wednesday, Stanley Cup. Oh, I can't wait.
Now,
it's going to be great, baby.
I'm going to say one more thing about the conference championships.
Sure.
I mean, I know you always hear this adage in terms of football where what is it? They say offense will win you games, but defense wins you championships.
Yeah.
And the Western Conference final between Colorado and Edmonton definitely takes that drives that point home. Because obviously with McDavid, Draisaitl, and Kane, it's hard pressed to say that a team any team in the league had a better offense than Edmonton. But looking at what Colorado brings to the table with, I'm only going to say 2 names off of their defense that both of them are top 20 defensive players in the league. But between
who's that?
Devin Taves and Cale Makar.
Oh, Cale Makar is probably a top 5, top 10 easy right now. That kid, that
might
kid
even be a top 3.
Yeah, realistically,
hard pressed to pick anybody above him. Maybe Adam Fox and Mackenzie Weegar, but other than that, it's hard to say anybody that
offensively. And look at how young he is, man. And it's crazy to say because I got to go back to it. Philadelphia Flyers, number 2 overall. Select Nolan Patrick and picked him over Cale Makar. You imagine Cale Makar playing with Ivan Provorov or Cale Makar playing with somebody like Cam York right now? It's very important. Cale Makar is a generational talent. Hands down, generational talent. He's the difference maker. He's probably one of the difference makers on that team. Look at his stats. He's an absolutely incredible defenseman. And he's a kid.
What is he, 26 years old?
Oh, I don't even know if he's that old. He's probably as old as, Brazeau.
Hold up, guys. I'll be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he is a young player. He was drafted the same year as Nolan Patrick. In the year 3 years.
23 years old.
There you go. 23 years old. I was still pooping my pants at 23.
I think you were spending too much time at those bars celebrating your legality.
Oh well, no. 23. Yeah, I was actually a bartender. I was doing it up. You know what I mean? I wasn't living the dream just yet. You know, having a couple Chardonnays. You know, but times they are changing, my friend. Ron Burgundy never heard that song. But yeah, Cable Carr is generational talent, hands down. Incredible talent, incredible player. And then we got the final, game 1 coming up.
I can't wait
Wednesday
for
night,
Wednesday
8
night.
o'clock, huh?
Yeah, so Wednesday finals. 2 great teams here. I mean, realistically, it's made the best win. Avalanche ranked number 1, Lightning are ranked number 5 here, but they're just one of those teams that it was such a tight race in that Eastern. Number 5, 2 wins on that resume could have had them from 5 all the way up to 3. So the number 5 really doesn't mean too much to me. That team is built to win championships, and the Avalanche are just due for a championship. You understand what I'm saying? Lot to play for here.
I mean,
when was the Avalanche's last? Was that Ray Bork and
Avalanche,
Patrick Waugh?
it was Ray Bork, Patrick Waugh, Peter Forsberg. Yeah,
Hell of a team.
hell of a team. Milan Hayduk, Adam Foote.
Adam Foote, yes.
Yeah, Shane Falco, quarterback of the Washington Capitals.
I'm having a hard time even trying to predict a winner in this series.
It's going to be
like every bit of logic is telling me ride with Colorado for my money. But after the past 2 seasons, you're kind of starting to get the issue with that you've seen for how many years in the NFL, where even though you got what has been the most dominant team in the league all year on one conference, they're playing against Tom Brady and his track record of success. So it's like,
the Tampa Bay Lightning have nothing like there's no. You could dissect their game and with flaws. Yeah, the teams do have flaws. But when you look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, and you go down that resume and you go down that roster and that coaching staff and that fan base, and you look and just say, this team is they're built to win championships. Especially, like I said, when it gets longer in. I'm going to give it to you right now. By prediction, I have Tampa Bay winning the Stanley Cup for the 3rd time in 3 years, a three-peat. On the rear right now, breaking news. First time I've actually mentioned it. I haven't even given my prediction yet. Tampa Bay Lightning, I have winning the Stanley Cup in 6 games.
Okay. I have Tampa winning it too.
My MVP is going to be
Andrei Vasilevsky.
You're damn right. Well said, my brother. There's a pound right there. Give me one. Ba-boom. Exactly.
I mean, I can definitely see it if Tampa wins the final.
Yeah.
But
who do you like? Realistically, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, I'll give you one to that. I know that. It's tough.
I'm going back on my words here because I know I'm the one that kind of made the comparison with Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, saying you don't bet against Tom Brady. But I think I'm going with Colorado on this one.
I like it. I mean, how can you not?
I'm going to put my MVP up there as, well, Cale Makar.
Wow, really hot take. Hot takes and cupcakes coming at you live. Well, we'll have to have a little discussion. Maybe we'll do a little friendly wager. Overall, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. I really can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Game 1, I'm going to be doing a live broadcast as Frank the Tank down at here in Philadelphia at Nick's Roast Beef on Woodhaven. Can't wait for that. We're going to be interacting with some fans. Hopefully, you guys definitely check in. But
what are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? Where at?
I'll be doing a live broadcast. Yeah, it's not real nice when you ask. So I'm going to be doing a live broadcast at one of the restaurants in Northeast Philly, talking Stanley Cup final. I have a couple of live shows I'll be doing out and about with the people. Really looking forward to that. Just talking some Stanley Cup final hockey. It's going to be incredible.
As every show should be.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. That's good stuff.
What the fuck? I know I turned this fucking shit off. Sorry.
Wow. Oh,
Uh,
we can edit. I'll teach you guys how to edit. Don't worry.
Well, that's what I was doing. I was turning off, like my notifications got turned on somehow, and they were beeping, and I was like, "What the hell's
Oh, it's
going
no
on
problem.
here?"
It's no problem. But if you guys, I mean, that's pretty much my take. We can hit it right in the mouth with the old, final thought and the old "Hey, how's your father?" That's my pick, man. That's what I like.
I mean, like I said,
I mean-
it's hard. It's hard to root to
On February
logically-
10th was their only meeting, and I do know that Colorado did win that one 3-2.
Tight game. They could do it again. Come out game 1, win 3-2. But it's a series, man, and Tampa Bay just built for series. Listen, it's hard to pick a winner. These two teams are just incredible. Incredible. I'm just looking forward to some good hockey.
Oh, so yeah, who's not? Who's not looking for the good hockey? This is the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I 100% could not agree more. But yeah, this is definitely one heck of a show. I couldn't be more happy to be here. Definitely appreciate you guys having me on. It's been pretty remarkable. Means a lot. Definitely looking forward to doing some stuff soon. But yeah, guys, it's really awesome stuff. Good show you got here, the mooncutters. Definitely always tune in. It's a good show. But yeah, man, thanks again for having me on.
And well, he did not actually get a chance to plug his stuff before he jumped off. I was getting ready to ask him to, but ladies and gentlemen, that was, as I said, he's an accredited. I can't even with this guy. That was Frank. That was, what is his last name again?
James.
Frankie. Yeah. Oh, wow. Frankie James. He's the owner of Unity Podcast Network, the host of the Frank the Tank Sports Podcast. He's a credentialed media reporter and photographer for the Philadelphia Flyers. And you can find him on Twitter, as you saw displayed on his screen, the entire recording, at Frankie Stesk.
He just bailed like see ya, bitches.
He's like, I'm gonna head out. Click.
Right.
You can follow Adam at his 3 Twitter pages. He's got at Sports Talking It displayed on screen. You can also follow him at Sports Talking. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's the one that's on screen.
First live.
You can
show
also
on your
follow
page.
him at what?
First live one. You got to mess up a couple times, right?
Hey, you can also follow him at Miggs242424. That's MIGGS 242424. And at Hammer Time Pit with 1 T. That is an unofficial fan page of the Pittsburgh Maulers of the USFL.
I've been slacking, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we've had so much going on between his
Yeah.
baseball talks on Sports Talking With and the
Hey, you want to keep up with them? They're 1-6, 1-7. They're awful. They're not very good right now. They need to rebuild. They need to rebuild. They need to find something to get away from this Pizzagate incident, which is bullshit.
Wait, Adam, this is the first year of the league, and you're already talking rebuild? How's about they just build fucking period?
Well, yeah. I mean, they went through. This is their 4th quarterback already, and we only have 8 games. So I think it's a full rebuild.
You're 8 games into your team's freaking lineage, and you're already on your 4th quarterback. What is that? Just as soon as you pick up a loss, you fire?
Went through. Loletto got let go. Love got let go. V Vlad and who's the other guy? They just signed him. I forget his name, but he's been playing out too. So yeah, massive rebuild. The Devion Smith debacle. I can't wait till they release the whole thing because this Pizzagate thing is just weird. Like, who the hell gets fired for eating pizza?
There's got to be more to it, but I'm sure we'll cover that in a future episode when the details emerge.
Right.
Anyways, y'all, you can follow me at TJE Joker, as shown on screen. That's TJEGEOCUR. And for those of us following this stream off of Adam's YouTube page, make sure you're following the official Twitter of the Mooncutters Sportscast at Mooncutters.
We're on Mooncutters Twitter today too. I shared it off the page. I did go look.
For everybody that's watching this off of your YouTube instead of the Mooncutters Twitter.
Oh well, a lot of people don't know about my YouTube on your Twitter.
And a lot of people don't know about my Twitter off of your YouTube. So yeah, this is called, it's the end of the recording. It's time to cut up, people. Anyways, this has been Joffrey and Adam and Frankie James while he was still here before he pulled the, you know what, bitches, I'm out. I ain't even going to tell you to stop the car. Tuck and roll.
All right. Well, we did our first show live, so we got through it.
Wouldn't this be our second?
Well, I mean, like on your channel.
Lanny was
broadcast on
right.
Twitter too. I forgot we did do Lanny on the Twitter. I forgot it was on there. Sorry. Oh well.
No, Adam, you're number one.
Oh no, you're number one. No. Anyway.
This is Joffrey and Adam signing off, guys. Have a great night and go hockey.